For those of you who are regular listeners, that's a new intro song from our good folks, the band Tentner, I think. I don't know. It's not one guy either. It's a multiple. It's
an ensemble.
That's right. I think so. Yeah, I think it's a collective group of musicians getting together, and the song is called "I Fell Down." You can check it out on Spotify. Tentner, Tentnor.
Yeah, and I fell down, but my dick's still up. It's kind of the theme of this show. Might be the theme of our lives.
Should be the name of the episode. Do we give our episodes names? I don't know.
We do.
But yeah. There you go. I don't know anything that happens. I really just come on here and talk for a couple hours on every Thursday. I apologize for that too.
Not to spill the to kill the lead, but there is a bit we're going to get to later about a botched castration. So I don't know how I could tie that into. I fell down, but my dick's still up.
I feel like that right there was just the perfect segue. It was like, I don't have a segue.
I don't want to get into. Usually this is just where we bullshit about our lives for about 10 minutes. I don't know. Are we getting straight into a botched castration that happened in Florida? We're going to hold on that because I got some.
I got a fun lead in for you. Did you talk to your brother, by the way? Did he regale you with that tale that I was getting at about a self surgery by one of your insane uncles from the Midwest?
I didn't. No. And okay, so if it's an uncle from the Midwest, then I certainly don't know about it. I assumed it was one of my dad's brothers.
See, that's why I wanted him to tell you the fucking tale. So just... it actually makes me feel more comfortable about this whole thing just by discussing it. I have a hemorrhoid, fellas. It is not something that is gentle or pleasant, and it's not something that is small or to get through my day with at the moment. And I was, of course, I tell your brother Wes everything because he's my best friend, and I know I'm going to get some like legit advice. And we were chatting back and forth about this whole hemorrhoid because he's trying to talk me off the ledge. Like, of course, I've got bowel cancer. That's what this is. This is bowel cancer, and it's poking out of my rectum, and it's going to rectum damn near killed him. That's where it feels right now. And so we were talking about it, and he's like, "Well, one of my uncles, he had a fix." For some hemorrhoids, and he was plagued with them for his entire life, and he just wouldn't go to a doctor. And maybe it was it sounds like one of your dad's brothers, to be honest with you, Wes, because the way he remedied his hemorrhoid that apparently was plaguing him for quite some time was he got himself a nice little hand mirror and got in the old catcher position, got down deep and low, and took a pair of toenail clippers to it.
Yeah, okay. It's ringing a bell now. I'm pretty sure I know who did that. It's been a while since I've heard that, but yeah. Fucking clipped it off. Nipped it in the butt, literally.
That is not... There is no way in fucking hell. I've done a lot of self-surgeries on myself in my lifetime, and for some reason self-surgeries don't seem as painful as long as you're the one inflicting your own pain. It's some sort of like masochistic, like, I don't know, pain reliever that your body magically comes up with when it's your hands doing the job. Dude, how did that not kill him? Like, you know what kind of I don't know, particulates are in that particular area. I don't care how much sanitation you do down there. That's the place that cannot be sanitized. Yeah. I don't see how he didn't die of sepsis.
My father was born in 1945, and if this is the brother that I'm thinking of, was 17 years his senior. So this guy was born in the 70s. Was he served in World War II. Didn't see any time, but he was in USA occupied Japan, and then served in Korea. Did 2 tours. And a rough, rugged dude. So, and he lived, some part of his childhood was through a depression. So I think this is just the type of shit that this guy did. He was a tough guy.
I was going to say that kind of explanation, like 2 tours of Korea. My man squatted in the jungle. That he learned that shit in Korea, and then he just carried that on with him for his life. That's just what happened. Like, he was like, "Yep, gotta get rid of it, or else I'll just die out here in this jungle in pain every time I shit," which is all the time. because I'm dehydrated. It's backwards.
But
The human body is evil.
he wasn't taking the toenail clippers to his anus in the middle of the jungles of Korea. He was doing this in like a basement in Perryville. This isn't
That's
like
what I'm saying. It comes home with you. You know what I mean? That's just you're like, yep, I got it. I got it fixed for you. And people are gonna think you're crazy, like we do.
And I can't yell because unless Charlie will hear me. And Charlie is the enemy and also my good buddy who's upstairs waiting on me to go out on a Saturday night. Ugh. Put the gauze pad in my underwear. All right, let's go out. Let's get some beers. That's how I imagine it went. I don't know if that's actually the story.
Could be very
Yeah.
Either way, that's fucking horrendous.
Yes, absolutely it is. Speaking of horrendous, you should have seen the activity I had to perform in the bathroom this evening. Oh boy.
Poop style or self-surgery? Would you get a hacksaw out and go to work?
No. Okay, so I've never bought Preparation H before. So it was much like buying condoms at like 16, 17 years old. A lot of drive-bys through the aisle, like side of the aisle. Let's see which one. Okay, I see the box. And I'm like taking all these mental images like, all right, these are the boxes. Now wait for the aisles to be clear. All right, coast is clear. What's this one do? I've never sped read directions on a medical item before in my life, but I was capable of reading that 0.06 millimeter font. And so anyway, I've got the tube, and when I opened it up, there is a nozzle, we'll say, inside there that is about 3 inches long, and I'm like, what's this for? I thought it was the topical ointment. Not a topical ointment.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, hemorrhoids aren't really kind of a topical thing. They're like half and half.
half topical and half what, Alan?
Half not topical. Yeah, you got to get all up in there.
Yeah. Yep.
That's what you got a wife for, though, right? That's what you...
I don't think that's what. No, I don't think so. I think this is the reason that I can kind of understand why your uncle ended up squatting in a basement over a hand mirror with a pair of Revlon fucking nail clippers, because that's not an area of the body that other human beings should be looking at on you. Like, if I had to go get a colonoscopy, like, they put you out. You know what I mean? They give you drugs and then they shove something up your ass. Like, it's not as traumatic. There's a disassociative process that goes on with the amount of chemicals they put in your body. But I might have to have this looked at by a medical professional.
So,
God. Since we're sharing, Mur, is this your first one? Like, have you ever had one of these before? Or like,
I've had something pop up in the past, but it went away within like a couple of days to a week. Like, to where I was like, oh, thank God.
Yeah. That's
Didn't have to worry about it.
I was kind of same boat maybe like a month ago, and I had one, and I went to the doctor because I was like, okay, like it didn't go away. I was like, all right, this is a little concerning, and I kind of had the same mental spiral that you had. I was like, oh my God, I got fucking colon cancer or rectal cancer. It's fucking done for. And then I went in, and my doc is an older lady, and she's cool, but she's just like, I kind of dig her because she's business. Like, me and her just boom. Yep. I'm not lying to you. I've been eating cheeseburgers, fucking hand and fist. You know what I mean? And she's like, sweet, that's not good. Don't do that. So we have a good rapport. So I was like, hey, I might have what I believe is a hemorrhoid, but I've never experienced this. And she was like, good, bend on over there, buddy. It gave me a poke and a spin and a retraction. And it was unpleasant. That's all. I think that's enough. I think that's all I really need to say about it.
Hemorrhoid or not, that's unpleasant. But go ahead.
Yeah. So it's just know what you're in for if you're going to the doctor. Maybe ride that preparation out a day or two. Preparation H out a day or two.
What was the solution? Did she just pop her back in place? I mean, what happened here?
So mine kind of just went away like within 2 days. She did prescribe a suppository, which I'm sure you know what that is. So
I do now.
Yeah. So she did prescribe a suppository, but it went away, and I just never picked it up. And she was like, "Yeah, it's cool." If it went away, you're good.
Damn. Let it be known that it took one co-host to have a hemorrhoid in order to pry out of the other co-host who had a hemorrhoid 3 months ago to tell his tale.
No, it was like a month ago.
Oh, a month. Okay,
it wasn't that. Yeah, no.
God, I've never had one. I had an ingrown.
I didn't think about it.
I had an ingrown hair on my taint that I did self-surgery on.
That sounds fucking brutal.
Yeah, I found out about while riding a bike. I was riding my bike home from work, and I was like, "Ooh, oh!" So then I stood up and started riding. It was like, "Fuck it, I'm standing up the entire way." About halfway through, a lot of friction started happening, so I had to like kind of spread my toes to the end of the pedals and kind of do some self waddle, and then with about a block left, I walked home. I was like, I can't do that. And the crazy thing was, it was just out of like eyesight. I mean, I could see it for a split second at a time if I really like stretched really hard. Like, oh, okay, it looks a little rough. And did some more Googling and got a nice, really hot, steamy shower, and then about as hot as I could stand it, and then massage the area around it to build up a build the pus, and squeeze as hard as I possibly could, and let out a yell that neighbors about 4 blocks down could have heard, and then yoke that puppy out. Yeah, walked to work for about 3 days after that.
Oh God, yeah.
Whew. Yeah, I don't know if that's worse. Maybe that sounds terrible.
Yeah, at least, but okay, yes. I feel like there's like an intensity in what Wes has just described. The pain, the instantaneous pain is there, but it's gone. Where I've got like this traumatic worry. And here's the problem, is I think the person that's going to have to look at it is going to be like my general doctor, who just generally looks at the outside of my body. Mm-hmm. Not exactly thrilled about the... Mm-hmm. This might end our relationship, like our doctor-patient relationship. As soon as I have to squat in front of him, get on all fours, and doggy it up for him for the loop and scoop that you've just described, I might be finding another doctor.
I will say, I mean, I don't know how old your doctor is or what their practices are, but mine did not fucking like make me vulnerable. She didn't fucking make me get on all fours or like bend over a table. It was like a fetal position, laying down,
like an upside down OB. All right, get on all fours. We're gonna put your toes in these stirrups here, and
nope, didn't none of that. So hopefully, your doctor has adopted some of those modern practices, because that would suck.
Here's the problem with my doctor too, and this is why I picked this guy. Is because he's either my age or younger. Because, I'm 42. So, I mean, I'm figuring, like, if I pick this guy, like, he and I can start to establish a rapport. We're of the same age. We have the same, like, life experience. Mm-hmm. And then, but it'd be like, hey, Wes, can you take a look at my asshole for me? I just don't.
Oh, man.
Pull your pants down, man. I think it's if you can get yourself, like, in my experience, if you can get yourself, not necessarily an old timer, but a guy who's been around he's been in the game for a hot minute, but has the kind of, I'm not going to bullshit you, but I'm also not going to treat you like you're a child attitude that Alan's general practitioner seems to have. Like, okay, yeah, don't fucking slam cheeseburgers. How much do you drink? Oh, a couple a week. Don't fucking lie to me. All right, 5 beers a night. All right, man, you gotta dial that back just a bit. That's all I want.
That's why I like her. But my wife is not too fond of her. She's like okay with her. But yeah, me and her just straight, just like I talk to you guys, just straight, kind of nonchalant, a little sarcastic. Like when I went in for that, I was like, all right, we're getting real personal today. Might have to have you check out my butthole. And she was like, yep, check out that butthole. So,
all right,
look, they're professionals, man. Like, you'll be surprised. Like, you'll say it, you'll be nervous to say it, and the person will just be like, yep, that's cool. So just gotta bend on over.
About 7 years ago, I thought I had a sports hernia, and the physician that when I was working at the University of Maryland, a physician that I was doing video editing for, dealt with hernias, minimally invasive hernia surgeries. Told the guy that I knew that was technically my boss. He said, "Yeah, talk to," and I'm not going to say names, but talk to so and so. And I brought it up. He's like, oh, yeah, I can check you out. Hold on. Like, let's go into this observation room. Gloves on. He's like, all right, pull your pants down. It's like, he's like, dude, we can do this right now, and this will take 30 seconds, or you can go figure it out with your, with something else, and pay what do you pay, do a copay, and $7,500. I'm going to do it right now. And I was like, I just kind of suddenly realized, like, I don't recall the last time I pulled my pants down for another man. I'd had to have been a kid or a teenager. I was like, all right, well, fuck it, here it goes. Boom. And yeah, it was cough, cough, cough. No, you don't have a hernia. No? Turns out I had a strained ab muscle.
But you got some big old balls.
Yes.
Strained in the ass.
Doc, you've seen a lot of dicks and balls. What do you think? Where do I rank in the...
Yeah.
Give me like a percentile.
Give me a scale here.
Long ball Larry. Change your jaws.
Yeah, man. Like I said, you'd be surprised. They're professionals,
Okay.
Don't underestimate them.
Yeah.
I've honestly been like really worked up about this. So no, this has been very therapeutic. I do appreciate your time, gentlemen. I'll send you the.
Right.
You guys can send me the bill when the show's over. But Alan, it's funny you say that because I remember one of the standard questions like, and do you drink? Yes. How many drinks per week? And I'm like, per week or per day? He's like, oh, let's start with per day then. And I was like, I don't know, man. Like 2 beers during a weeknight, like 4 to 6 on a Friday. He's like, that's fine. I was like, really?
You good?
Like, yeah. He's like, you're fine, dude. No, you're fine.
And
I was just like, okay.
They tell you to drink way less, but like you can drink a little more. You know what I mean? Like the public image to maintain public health is like you should probably only drink like a half a fucking alcoholic beverage a night. You know what I mean? Average. But you could drink like 1 or 2. Yeah. It's cool. It's fine.
Yeah. But it gives everybody such like guilt and shame, like because what is it like supposed to be like? Do you have more than 3 drinks a week? Yeah, on a Monday, you know, like what?
It's like 4 to 6 a week is the dotted line for where you may or may not have a problem. I'm like 4 to 6 a week. God,
yeah.
Hi. That's why we lie to our physicians. We want these people to say it's all right.
Nah, see, and like I dig it. I dig the relationship that I have because I'm just straight up brutally honest, and that's how I like it.
Right?
Like I'm just like, yep, here you go. I'll do it. Hey, I kicked ass. Let's check it out. I lost weight.
Right.
Suck it.
You ought to watch a. Okay, so I'm not a Zac Efron fan, but I'm saying he said something that was.
Are any of us?
I don't know. I mean, aren't young girls? I suppose.
I'm not like a fan of his like overall like library of work, but I'm a fan of the guy. I've seen like him in real. He's like, look, he has a job as an actor, and he does douchey acting jobs because that's what they hire him for. I like the guy.
He was on the. I think it's YouTube, but it might be Netflix. It's called Hot Ones, where celebrities eat hot wings, and then they go. And he talked about being on Baywatch with The Rock. Okay, you familiar with that movie?
Yes.
Yeah, and he said, I would never ever do that again because it's just not real. The diet that is required, the workouts that is required, it's not real. It's way too hard. It sucks. It's not even fun. And then he was like, keep your heart and your mind healthy. You'll be okay. You'll be fine. And I was like, damn, that's some wise words. Man, you look good, bro. You look great.
Deep shit, High School Musical. Thank you.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of beers, did you guys hear? So I didn't even know. Okay, first of all, first line of this, I didn't know Molson and Coors merged. Were you aware of that?
Yes.
Okay. And Murray, you said when you read this, your heart almost skipped a beat because you didn't read the third word. But it's like, according to Molson Coors, RIP to the following brands: Milwaukee's Best Premium, Mickey's Fine Malt Liquor.
That's a travesty.
Henry Weinard's Private Reserve.
Fuck, never had it.
Yeah, Keystone.
By the way, all of these titles are all oxymorons. Like Mickey's Fine, something Reserve,
Private Reserve. Yeah,
nothing in Mickey's has ever been good. Like
Keystone Ice, Ham's Special Light, Key Lightful. Never heard of that. Icehouse Edge, Magnum, Thought they were condoms. Apparently it's beer or malt liquor. Miller High Life Light, we'll get back to that one. Steel Reserve 211 and Old English HG 8000. None of these, but Milwaukee's Best Premium, is that, what's that? Is that the red label?
I don't know, but anything that has best in the title is obviously shit, because they wouldn't have fucking printed best on there in the first place. And the only reason is because everybody called it Beast, and I think they tried to like make Beast best not the last word, so people would quit calling it that.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it's trash.
Well, Mickey's is the only one. I haven't had a Mickey's in a long time. There was a time prior to going out, I would drink 2 Mickey's 40s, and then we'd go out to a bar. But outside of that, none of this, I'm not raising the white flag, a stink. I'm not going to go protest, go arm in arm with my friends in front of liquor stores. No!
I was
go back to the warehouse and make more!
It's a good, Mickey's is what we had to chug the morning that we got our bids. They were warm hand grenades.
Yeah.
So that was cool. So it's got a nice little fucking place right in the back of my throat where it makes me want to vomit, but it's also kind of nostalgic. So I'm like, yeah, I'd drink Mickey's. Is it room temperature? Thanks. Don't give it to me ice cold. That's for fucking no. That's too highbrow.
Nice and sudsy, nice and heady. But all of these seem to be, with the exception of Mickey's, and all of these seem to be one-offs of Keystone Ice. Okay, I drank Keystone Light. I think I've had a Keystone Ice, but maybe like more than one or two. Not that I can think of. Ham's Special Light. I've drank the fuck ton of Ham's. Don't know if you guys ever have. It's delicious.
I've never even heard of it.
Ham's?
No.
I'm walking down to your house with a 15-pack at some point next week, all right?
You can still get it? Go get it. Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to walk down to your house anymore. I'm going to drive to your house. I'm going to drink that, then I'm going to drive home and then do the show. Ice House Edge. I've drank Ice House before. Have you guys ever heard of the Edge in Ice House?
Ice House Edge sounds ridiculous. Is it flavored? It sounds like it's flavored.
No, I think Ice House Edge was like, we don't want to. You can't call it Ice House Ice, because that was made during the ice craze, where they were putting more alcohol in it.
They were so like, I had Ice House. We're fucked.
Ice House was already potent, like back in the day. I think Ice House was already like 5.5%, and I think Ice House Edge was like 6 or 6.5. So that was their ice beer. And it was just for shitty college kids and high school kids who needed to get drunk on less.
Yeah.
Right.
They could probably all go off the market. It's fine.
Steel Reserve 211. I don't know if that's an area code, but I've had Steel Reserve. Didn't know what the 211 is. High Life Light. I've had High Life Light.
I have too.
But High Life is where it's at. Yeah. Magnum, though. I want to show you guys this.
Magnum?
Yeah. It's not Magnum TI or the condoms, like the condoms for people who have big wieners. But this is what we got right here. Shatterproof malt liquor.
I think I've seen it. No.
Yeah, well, you know why it's shatterproof is because it comes in a plastic bottle. In the neighborhood I work in, I used to see a lot of Magnum bottles strewn about the side of the road.
That malt liquor that's fucking served in 40-ounce containers will get you tuned up in a hurry.
It's the first time I've ever gotten drunk in my life. It was on
40s?
Old English 40. Yeah. Me and a buddy of mine, McCann, tried to get. I'll leave the person nameless to buy us a case of beer. He said, "No, I'm not buying you each. You're not going to each drink 12 beers. This is on the house." And then he came out gave us our money back, paid for a 40 for each of us. Which at the time we just thought, God, that guy's got a lot of money, and he probably dropped, I don't know, like $3.60 for 2 Old English 40s. And said, "Drink these, come back tomorrow, then we'll talk." Yeah, and we got drunk, really drunk. It was like the last 5 ounces was like, oh God, ugh.
Yeah, because a 40 is like 5 beers, so you should be drunk. Especially if you've never had beer before.
I'd had beer. I'd had a few. But to a 14-year-old palate and liver.
I like that fucking malt liquor. You haven't had that shit. Not at 14.
Can't filter that malt.
No, sir. It's thick. It's in viscosity. Like, yeah, it's not. It gets warm real quick because you don't know.
Well, here's my thing: is I noted, with the exception of High Life Light, which I did. Okay, I almost wrecked my Jeep because I was driving when I saw that message. Because all I could do, because I literally finished my last Miller High Life bottle like the night before. And before I got to the line break on Miller High Life, as soon as I saw High Life, like, no, I've had my last Miller High Life. I was actually like pushing the gas pedal down to get to my liquor store so that I could buy as much Miller High Life as like. And then I saw Light, and I was like, I didn't even know they made a Light. Okay, we're fine. But I don't want to be a demographist here, but it seems to me that all the beers on that list are generally purchased by what we would call the lower class, I'd say urban American. And I even say that there's urban spots in Cecil County. There's a store down on the route that I work on that they probably go through cases upon cases of Mickeys on a daily basis. It just seems like that's the lower class shit that they're getting rid of. And I wonder if it's the highbrow the rest of their shit, or is it to stop vandalism in America by about 30%?
Yeah, I'm sure there's panhandles in white suburbia where these are consumed pretty regularly. Why? No, it's always about money. I don't know. They just want to, like, there's something that killing these alcoholic beverages isn't going to stop consumption of, for every one of these, there's a dozen other malt liquors.
There's so mad cheap shit. Yeah. And like, if you go back through the list, they're probably original versions of these beers because these are all just kind of weird, like ices and Edge and fucking shit like that. You know what I mean? So the original versions are definitely still, like, High Life is still around. So they don't give a fuck. They're probably maximizing. They're like, oh shit, we got to make a ton of fucking White Claws. So let's just kill all this other shit and move all of that production power to White Claws. See? Perfect. That wasn't even fucking planned. You're welcome, America.
Yes, the raspberry White Claw is quite delicious. And guess what? I think it's because it is not a malted beverage. It's the same deal. Like Zima was a malted beverage. I think they finally figured out how to get alcohol into non-malted things. And like, there's a superior product out there that gets you just as drunk. That's quite tastier. And as soon as we can introduce it to you, we can get rid of the rest of these lines. But imagine if you work at like the Coors factory, like whether you're making the banquet beer or Coors Light, that seems like the kind of like beer company that you can really walk around town with the hat on with the nice embroidered logo on the front of it. But imagine your dad's the guy who works at the Mickey's plant.
Getting that free Mickey apparel, that free Mickey gear, right?
Just Mickey's apparel all day. Mickey's hoodies.
Yeah. Swag.
All the swag.
Yeah. I didn't say welcome to the middle class holes. Welcome to the middle class holes, everyone. Murr, Alan, Foxman, only just about a half hour in. So we talked about this a little bit earlier, but I tell you, I cracked up about 4 times reading this. This article was phenomenal. Botched castration via the smoking gun. That's the news outlet. I'm not familiar with that. But an elderly Florida man today copped a plea to felony charges in connection with his bloody botched castration of a man he met on a, what's it? EUNUCH? What is that? Inish? Website, crime for which he will be sentenced 3 years in prison according to court records. Gary Van Ryswick, 76, pleaded no contest to unlicensed practice of healthcare professionals resulting in serious bodily injury. He entered similar plea to a second lesser felony charge. So this guy hits him up, says, "Hey man, I want my dick and my balls cut off." And he's like, "Okay, cool." And he starts whacking away, bleeds everywhere. A fake 911 call comes in. Cops show up. There is some quotes from the detectives who talked to him, but I'm going to get your thoughts just about, I don't know. Hey man, Murr, I need my balls cut off. Oh, can I come over? tell Maria to take the kids somewhere. I'll do your hemorrhoid, you do my nuts. All right, come on. We'll do a 2 for 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. This reminds me a lot of like the women who like to get the butt enhancements, and they just find some guy who has a basement in New Jersey and a lot of fucking like clear caulking that they can shove into their ass. Like
that is straight up flights to the Dominican. That's what that is. That shit's wild. But yes, continue.
So I mean, if you were soliciting non-practicing people to chop your balls off, you kind of get what you pay for at that point. I mean, it just seems as though the kind of person who wants their nuts removed on a whim kind of deserves to have a guy who lives in a 1-bedroom and with a bunch of rubber bands.
Nah, it's a fucking studio, bud. There's just a cot in the corner. That's it. It's real slummy.
So
that's fucking wild. So he had his buddy could do it for him, right? That's how I heard that.
No, it's not even his buddy. He got on a service, like a web service, like a like a Craigslist style web service to like solicit for somebody who would cut their nuts off. I mean, I think what's even stranger, Wes, is that there's a guy who answers the ad.
Right.
Not even the person, because I believe there's lots of people who want weird shit done to their bodies. I think it's even stranger that there's somebody that's willing to do it for them.
I was like, yeah, I'll take a look at that. I'll see what that's like. It sounds interesting.
Swing by my studio in Central Florida. We'll hang out for a little bit. So the man's testicles removed during the procedure took several hours. That's
what? That's not how that works. That's not how that's supposed to work. I think it's fairly straightforward.
Yeah.
But you got to cauterize. I think that's the key.
Right.
You got to have fucking like iron.
They were in a pink table atop a bedside stand when the detective showed up. Elsewhere in the room was a Nikon camera on a tripod that the gentleman used to record the castration. He planned to upload it to show his work. And this was seized. Asked by a detective about his extensive surgical tool collection, Van Ryswick answered, "I kind of like medical stuff." When the cop asked, "Is there another fetish for you or what?" Van Ryswick replied, "I suppose I could call them a fetish. It's kind of a prepper type, whatever the hell that means."
Oh, he's like a crazy. He's a crazy person.
Yeah.
Well, clearly, but he's a doomsday prepper.
So they asked about his experience. He said he performed 2 others, and then also removed one of his own testicles back in 2012 without any painkillers.
Wow. Okay. Well, you know what? He's got a little more street cred. I mean, if you're gonna be in the business,
weird flex.
You gotta. Hey, do you have any experience? Hell yeah! Pulls his pants down. Look at that.
Look at that.
They call me one ball Gary. Look at that. Not for a reason.
But see, I don't know. Like, I think in the question, if you're interviewing people to cut your balls off, right? Or in the questionnaire would be like, "Hey, how long did it take you to do that?" And he's probably be like, "Oh, fucking 4 hours." Excuse me? No, nope. That's not. It should be much faster. I'm fairly certain.
Well, actually, it should be much slower because okay. Looking at history, they were castrating people for a long time. Like the Catholic Church was castrating the shit out of people just so they could still sing a falsetto. Yeah. And I mean, it's actually a pretty simple process from what I understand. It's like really tight rubber band. I don't know, a few Merlots, sit around, chat about what you think the Matrix meant for a little while. Hey, they're looking pretty blue. We ready to cut? Ready to finish the job? Yep.
Fucking guillotine.
Twist, little pop. We're done here, So maybe 4 hours, but I feel like he didn't use the proper 4-hour procedure. But as far as the cauterizing goes, Alan, a hot plate really only gets to a certain temperature. I don't know that it seals the wound.
Can you imagine trying to hold a hot plate? Like holding the base and trying not to burn yourself. It's a very dark image, but...
Yeah, I do. Hilarious. They were pretty candid about the detective showing up, and this guy, answered the questions like, "Oh yeah, I've cut a few off." This guy answered, showed up. There was blood everywhere, gauze everywhere. And again, a few hours. I don't know. What were they just?
So here's my question: were they off? Sorry, like, Did they get off? Did it get him off? Was he in the middle of getting them off? Like, because it said it took a couple hours. I'm assuming he was gingerly cutting off these balls.
They removed his testicles. They found him in a jar,
okay.
Somewhere in the apartment. I don't know. They said a shelf. Let your imagination go.
Where would you put balls if not a shelf?
Next to the pickled deviled eggs in your refrigerator.
Right under the living room television.
I'll tell you what. I genuinely believe that all three of us would be great detectives on cases like this, because if you go in talking to a crazy man like he's not crazy, which is exactly what we do out of pure curiosity, that's how you get all the answers. Like, so you do this often? Yeah, a couple every. I get a couple every month. Yeah. What do you do with the like the whole guy asking him like, so what other fetishes do you have? Like, it sounded like he was like on a Tinder date with the guy, and the guy was just forthright and like if you don't treat them like they're crazy, then they'll tell you everything because they want to tell you everything.
God, I wonder what came out of there though. He's like, I like making snuff films. I'm a fucking avant-garde fucking snuff film director.
Right.
Me too.
Weird.
And you got to appreciate the fact that the guy tried to document it in order to show his his surgical work for future clients down the road.
Check this out, man.
Hey, 3-hour ball removal. Look at this. Clean as fuck. Sterile as shit.
Sterile as fuck. We're just going to fucking ram it full of gauze. It's going to be fine.
Man. Yeah, I mean, the fact that he's saying he's a prepper, too, that means... Oh, man, what a rabbit hole that's going on inside this guy's head. Like, that means that this guy is expecting civilization to fall apart at the seams. And so he is collecting medical instruments and doing these surgeries on the side so that when society falls apart, he will be the go-to guy. He will be like the dentist in Little Shop of Horrors. That's his dream. That's how he goes to sleep at night. Thinking of all the weird
That's kind
surgeries
of exactly what I thought when Wes said he was a prepper. Like, that makes sense. Exactly what I thought. He was like, this guy thinks that like China's going to drop an EMP strategically across the United States, and the entire fucking power grid is going to go down, and we're going to be in mass chaos. Fucking food will not reach the stores. Like, it'll be Venezuela.
Well, here's the castrator, and here's the castrate T.
Oh, wow.
I don't know. I guess if I'm this weird Hispanic guy, I'd probably look at this old white guy and be like, you look like you can cut some balls off. I've smoked enough meth today to think that you got a steady hand. How old are you? 74? Yeah, let's do it.
And here's the surgical table.
Fuck, yeah, open that up. Let's see.
This?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah. It's obviously he was like, grab a corner of the bed. Oh, dude.
Yeah, just fucking come over to the corner. Just spread out.
And well, there's.
I'm gonna get on in there. Put your feet on my shoulders. I'm just gonna get on in there. Hold on. Oh shit.
Okay.
Hey,
Kurt's cutting away, and he's like, "Oh fuck, we probably should have shaved you first."
You think you take a look at this hemorrhoid for me?
Oh god.
Well, he's going to do a couple of years in jail, so you lost your chance there, buddy.
Damn.
This was posted on the official Middle Classholes Facebook page. It goes on, can masturbation really boost your immune system and fight COVID? Now, for those morons in the world who aren't vaccinated, Dr. Jennifer Landa, a specialist in hormone therapy, suggests that indulging in some self-love might be able to strengthen your body's natural defense forces. Quote, masturbation can produce the right environment to strengthen your immune system, she said. According to Men's Health, one small but promising study of 11 men who were awkwardly told to masturbate while researchers took blood tests suggests so. All right, boys.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Start pulling your pud. We're gonna hook you up to monitors and rock and roll.
See, this is why This is why people are willing to go to 74-year-old men's studio apartments to get castrated. Because real doctors are asking you to do this wild shit unprompted. Like, well, I mean, if you want your $75, you did sign the contract. Start jerking. We're not going to tell you why. We just want you to jerk off right now while we watch and take your blood at the same time.
Hook you up to these monitors. These what do they call those when they the sticky tabs to your
EKG?
chest? Yeah. So
And we're going to put Space Jam on with LeBron.
not even the Jordan one.
Can't jerk it to that.
Published in 2004, it showed masturbation caused a temporary spike in immune cells, including killer cells that fight viruses. An example of lymphocytes, white blood cells that fight foreign invaders, including the coronavirus. The effect lasted only about 45 minutes after orgasm. This is a study that was done in Germany, so you got about 45 minutes afterwards. So, is the takeaway from this article: jerk off and go out and lick doorknobs for 45 minutes?
Or like, if you go out into some public space that's maybe possibly sketchy, what you do is you like come home, fucking rub one out, get peak immune activity. You know what I mean? Maybe hop in the shower if you're extra, being extra cautious. If you've reached the level that you're like, hold up, let me get a quick jerk in, make sure I time that out around my fucking social activities so I don't get the COVID. Mm-hmm. I think you're a person that showers when you come in from outside. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I have a hunch that the anti-vaxxers who are like, no, they're trying to control us. If the word was like, hey, look, masturbate a few times a day, like, no, you don't tell me when to masturbate. I tell myself when to masturbate. The government doesn't tell me when to jerk off. Fuck you. Whereas, like,
I could see somebody spinning that.
Yeah, of course.
They're trying to fucking pervert our children. That's what's going to happen. And it's not going to be about adults. It's going to be about like teenagers and shit. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I could see that too.
I just foresee a bunch of weirdos getting caught at work. Like, what? I'm just protecting myself.
Yeah, that too. Man. Yeah, if I could spin that though. I should probably be a fucking conservative campaign manager. I think I'd be pretty good.
They said that there was no link though to spiked immune cells to be able to fight off the coronavirus though. That was one of the final. Nope, sorry.
Just general immune activity. I like it.
Yeah.
Sounds better than no immune activity.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Next time I get caught pulling the pud, like I'm boosting the immune system.
Try not to get sick. It's fucking flu season.
God,
get out of here.
Wipe my stomach off and go to work. Fuck you.
You've been doing this every 45 minutes for the last 3 days.
It lasts 45 minutes.
Wait, what time is it? I gotta go. Yeah, get out of here.
Like a warm, creamy chutney. Get ready for another spoonful of the middle Classholes.
My apologies. I got a little tied up during the break to watch a 14 or 15-year-old Chinese girl do 6 somersaults off a 10-meter high board and have 3 perfect scores. 3. You fucking see that?
I was saying this shit last night to my wife. I was like, that shit's not fucking fair. All right, because like half of the fucking, I don't know much about fucking diving, but fucking what I do know is that you've got to fucking like keep your form real tight when you're doing your spins, and then you got to get vertical and you got to go in basically splashless like a fucking seal, right? And I think the 4'4" fucking 14-year-old Chinese girl has a distinct advantage over the adult women that are fucking doing the diving for all the other countries. I just think it's cheating.
I don't think it's cheating at all. That means you're the best at it at that moment.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, but it just seems like an unfair advantage.
And Secretariat had like two hearts that had somehow merged together in utero and was the greatest horse racer of all time. So, it's luck of the draw, it's genetics, and
Yeah, but
and you got to be in the right place.
The cutoff, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So I mean, she just squeaked it.
14. Yeah, she wouldn't have been able to make it if it happened last summer.
Yeah.
But she had 3 perfect scores, man. Fuck.
But every time I watch David, all I hear the announcer say is, "Man, the depth of the Chinese women diving team." Because like I think most of the medalists from the last Olympics didn't even make the team for this Olympics. Like they're just apparently just stacked with 14-year-old Chinese seals.
Right from Rio.
Yeah. Which
How
is
old are you?
Crazy.
19. Beat it.
Fuck no. Get out of here.
Go to the springboard.
Yeah. How fucking tall are you?
Well, when you're stolen from your family and locked in an aquarium and this is all you do, you better be good at it.
It's a good point.
That's fair.
It's a good point.
I hope it's a nice.
Yeah. 3 perfect scores. Check it out. Welcome to the Middle Class Holes. Welcome back to the Middle Class Holes, everyone. Murr, Allen, Foxman. Listen, I just flew a couple weeks ago out to Vegas. I think if you watch TikTok with any regularity, especially now, you'll notice that there's usually a scuffle every 20 or so videos of someone like just refusing to do something, some air marshal trying to kick someone off, someone refusing to get off a plane, someone reclining in a seat, some just being my father and his friends used to tell me, don't break the jerk rule. You guys familiar with that? If you need to be explained what the jerk rule is, then there's a problem. There should be no explanation. You should know this. So the title reads, "Tremendous Dickhead Gets Duct Taped to His Seat for Allegedly Assaulting 2 Flight Attendants and Screaming His Parents Are Worth, quote, $2 million. Frontier passenger allegedly touched 2 flight attendants' breasts and screamed his parents were $2 million. Punched a flight attendant. Frontier suspended the crew for duct taping the passenger to a seat as they landed in Miami. 22-year-old Max Berry is in custody. I've seen the videos. This shit's ridiculous. This guy had it coming for him.
He was like, help. He's screaming.
Yeah, and they're like slapping his mouth. Listen, I don't know what do you do? Do you throw him in a bathroom and lock it and jam the thing? Or do you you're in the air. You're 30 to 40,000 feet up above sea level. What? You got to calm these fucking clowns down. Do you start arming flight attendants with trank guns, something to knock them out for 40 or 45 minutes? Murray, you made the facial gesture like that's not a bad idea.
I mean, I'm not saying it's a good idea, but I'm saying I'm not against it. Okay. So there's a fine line there. I think exactly what happened is what you do. Now, you said the crew got suspended?
It says that let's see here. Frontier suspended the crew for duct taping the passenger to a seat.
Fuck Frontier Airlines for that reason alone. Like, I agree, and I guarantee that everybody on that plane agreed with that decision. I bet you most of them helped. I bet you most of them grabbed the roll and started swiveling around.
Right.
I would also, I would say, let's see how that plays out, because Frontier could have been like, hold up, all right, listen, guys, we got to suspend you. All right, but we're going to bring you back because fuck that guy, right? His name's Max Berry. I mean, whose name is that? You should have fucking duct taped.
Well, somebody whose parents are worth $2 million.
Yeah, duh. Fucking Max Berry, piece of shit. No. So yeah, I would say hold off, because I have a feeling they're going to be fucking serving your next Frontier adventure not too long from now. Are they getting paid? They're probably still getting paid anyway, too.
We'll get back to the story, but I think what concerns me most about this is the fact that Frontier Airlines has enough duct tape on their plane to wrap a man to his seat for the rest of his flight, because that means that they need duct tape on the airplane for certain, I don't know, mechanical failures while in the air. So that's a lot of duct tape to have on a plane. I wouldn't expect them to really have any duct tape on a plane. Maybe a roll, but not enough to strap down a 26-year-old man. This is probably going to lead into our next segment eventually, but I just feel like all of this like personal freedom stuff is really getting out of control. And I'm a conservative. I think personal freedom is a thing that everybody should hold sacred. However, like you said, Wes, it seems as though the jerk rule is not being applied in multiple categories across the United States of America. And for some reason, people think that they can get on a plane. And I don't want to say who's the worst, but there's like certain segments of people. It seems to be certain, especially like kind of like well-to-do white men and white women. They really seem to be really uppity. You can't do this. You can't tell me this. You can't do that. Like a lot of you can'ts coming out of their mouths. And I love vigilante justice. And this seems like the perfect case of vigilante justice. And I agree. I want to see more of this.
Well, I don't exactly recall what the example or what the situation was in which who's the host of Dirty Jobs?
Mike Rowe.
Mike Rowe said, listen, I understand what this person's discretion was, but here's the deal. When you get on an airplane, you are at the mercy of the airline and the staff. Doesn't matter if you're too fat, too drunk, too stinky, too insubordinate, or in the case of 22-year-old Max Berry, just being a fucking dickhead, screaming at everyone about how wealthy your parents were and how you could, I don't even know what point this fucking clown wanted to make. I'd be like, what are you trying to say? Your parents are wealthy? Cool. Can you just sit there and shut the fuck up and put your earbuds in and watch the movie like the rest of us, or go to sleep, or read your fucking Golf Digest and try to figure out how to go lower in your handicap or whatever. But they don't have to, you don't need an explanation to not fly with the airlines. And unfortunately, sometimes at 30,000 feet, when dickheads are flying around, possibly being potentially dangerous to everyone else on board. I'm not saying this guy could have like broken into the cockpit and whacked a pilot or something like that, but obviously he was causing disturbance. Tape him down, tape his mouth shut, punch him in the face a few times, deal with the consequences later. I would gladly spend a night in jail and then fight a misdemeanor charge if it meant I lived to tell about it, rather than this schlep who was obviously drunk. My pants were poof. Okay, motherfucker. All right. Whew, God, that hurt. Shut up. Go to sleep.
Yeah, I just as far as like personal liberties and freedoms are concerned, like my thought on that is like once you enter an enclosed space with a large group of people, like I'm not saying that shit goes completely out the window, but it's tamped down like on a large percent. You are now lemming number 14, and you will act accordingly like all the other lemmings until this little excursion that we're all on together is over. Then you get every ounce of your personal freedoms back. But if you're, like you said, if you're being a dick, you get treated like a dick. And I really do hope that they didn't like fire or suspend any of these people. And you might be right. It might be Freedom Airlines, like just kind of getting in front of the 8-ball. Because I remember when I worked at the gas station on 95, we'll just call him Mikey Wes, mouthed off to a customer, and the lady's like, I want him fired. And manager was like, all right, Mike, you're fired, buddy. That's it. We can't put up with this kind of thing. And then he grabs me and he's like, Murr, come here. I need to get you set up for outside. He grabs me by the shirt, pulls me. He's like, tell him to drive down to the end of the exit, get off, come back on, and come back to work. That'll be about 15, 20 minutes. She should be gone by then. All right, clean up his stuff, cash his register out. And yeah, then we sent Mikey down the highway. He got off the exit, got back on and came right back to work. And she was gone by then. And he didn't clock out. It was just, let's satisfy the customer in the moment. She thought he was fired and she was happy. And that was it.
All for show. And I agree with what you're saying, because Republican, Democrat, rich, poor, white, black, ethnic, whatever. When you get on the plane, you got to mind your P's and Q's. You're in a small space. You're wound up. I don't care how often you travel. You're relatively anxious in general. And yeah, when you get Max Berry, like, hey, no, I'll do whatever I want to do. I'll go to Florida and get castrated by somebody else. Fuck you. Like, man, I've never been in a scenario like that. The only thing that's ever happened to me flying was someone was arguing about where their bag needed to be put. It was had to be, they were in like aisle 9 and their bag had to be put in aisle 22. So they had to wait for everyone to get off the plane. The person was like, fuck this, make them move their bags. Like, oh, Jesus, just put the fucking bag in the goddamn overhead. so we can take off. You schlep. Sorry. But other than that, I've never witnessed anything like that. But how I would have dealt with Max Berry, I don't know. I would have tethered I would have played the backboard and just be like, here, hand me this. Hand me the duct tape. I'll spin it around to you in the front. So you can spin it around 54 more times. Make sure it's nice and wound.
It's just got to be a bitch to get it started. He's definitely wiggling. Like this is against his will.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
You gotta work. I think you just gotta work quick.
He kept screaming help.
Somebody was gonna come out of like there was another area where he couldn't see people, and people were just gonna come into the plane and be like, "Oh fuck, we should help that guy."
Right.
Like,
he just should have, rather than screaming help, he should have just said, "I'll pay anyone $30,000 to free me."
parents are worth $2 million.
Yeah. $30,000 if you cut me free. He may have gotten a figure or two.
Flying Frontier coach.
That's right.
Fucking $2 million.
My parents have lived a thrifty lifestyle, and after 30 years of work, have finally amassed enough money to retire on a meaningful monthly paycheck. That's what that means. They're not wealthy. Like if you're 22, 24 years old and your parents have $2 million, it just means they have lived a middle-class lifestyle and can actually just comfortably retire like a normal person in America. That's all that means. They are not wealthy or rich by any stretch of the imagination. What pisses me off about the Max Berries of the world is like their obnoxious outbursts for some reason outweigh, like from a legal standpoint. Maybe we can bring this up with our legal counsel, by the way. Their outbursts somehow outweigh my cool, calm, collected, I want to get through this fucking adventure and be done with it. Like mindset of where I'm not argumentative. I just want to get it done. Oh, my bag needs to be in aisle 22 when I sit in aisle 9. I gotta wait 5 minutes when everybody gets off the plane. Fuck, all right, I'll deal with it. I should be allowed to punch Max Berry in the fucking nose, like for talking shit. That should be part of my personal freedom and liberty. He's lucky he just got duct taped.
Yeah. Help. Hey, if you're in first class, can you hear me? Help.
Yeah, he could have just gotten knocked out by somebody.
Nope, I can't hear you. I'm watching the Pelican Brief and having a mimosa.
Sorry, I got earbuds in here in first class. All right, we're going to bring you to a new segment here on the Middle Class Holes. Here on the second part. This is where we call the segment that we call. Sorry, put a few drinks. Middle Class Holes save the world. Murr, we talked about it. Alan, you're aware of it. The segment entails real world problems and how middle class assholes will deal with them. Tonight, we talk about COVID-19 vaccination. People who tell you that they don't want to do it because they feel like the man is government too much. They don't want to pumped full. What's that?
Too much government.
That's a hell of a setup there, Wes.
Government. Yeah, there's a lot of words in like a little bit of sense. I like it though.
I was replacing government with government on purpose.
You really Max buried the shit out of that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, gentlemen, how the hell do we solve this problem? How the hell do we get people who are skeptical of either I don't know what's in the vaccine, therefore I don't want it, or I don't want the government telling me what to do, therefore I don't want it, and everything in between. Those are the prevailing theories and or stances from people who are anti-vaxxers right now, as I understand it. There may be you have some outliers that we don't hear about, where people who legitimately can't get it because of pre-existing medical conditions. I think those are few and far between. I get it, but if someone has a autoimmune existing condition, whatever. Okay, we're talking about the real. Nope, don't know what's in it, don't want it, or the government's telling me to do it, not going to do it.
Alan, you want to start? Because I got a lot of thoughts on this, especially as the lone conservative that's actually vaccinated. Like, I have some issues, and I'm willing to compromise my political beliefs for this topic. So I'd like to hear your thoughts.
You're the only conservative that's vaccinated. That's wild. That's wild.
Between the three of us, you're in the middle. Alan's a liberal, and I'm the only conservative.
It's kind of rude, but I guess so. I at this point, like, I've kind of run out of. And I never really did argue with anybody about it, but like, I kind of just want you to own it. Like, if you just don't want it because you don't want it, and that's it, like, okay, that's fine. Just tell me that. Be like, I just don't want it. Okay, like, I can live with that. Don't start giving me. I need, like, I had somebody the other day be like, I need to do a little more research. I'm like, oh, you haven't. There's still some research that you're missing at this point in time. We've at this point, there's still research that you can't gain access to. You're still waiting on. Okay, got it. Just making sure. So those people, I literally just treat them like they're idiots. Or sometimes I'm like, you're dumb. You're just a dumb person, and I can't help you. So it is what it is. And that's kind of like where I've kind of landed at this point in time. Like, there's not much else you can do, I think, with the rest of the population. Slowly we'll catch up. I mean, this is kind of how mass immunizations work. You will slowly get to that herd immunity point. It's just been so politicized that it is what it is in that here.
What I was going to say was, in Murr, before, I know you're itching to go, but Alan, I was yapping with someone the other day, and it was someone who's in my eyes relatively uninformed, and they said, I don't know, the vaccine just seems sketch. It just seems sketch.
What does that mean? What does that mean? You can't use words like that. This is a grown-up conversation.
Yeah.
We're not talking about fucking the slow rolling Crown Victoria, down the street, while you're smoking blunts on your porch. Like, no, that's sketch. Right. Fucking the vaccine is fucking verifiable science.
I don't even want to call sketch a buzzword, because that would give credit to the person who said,
there's a buzzword in like 2004. It's for whoever said it, dummy.
For things that teenage boys were doing.
Yeah.
Had nothing to do about vaccinations. Yeah. All right. Murr, hit us up.
Well, okay. So my first question is this a fucking pandemic or not? I truly believe that fucking, like, the government's fucked this up. Like, the media, the government, everybody has fucked this up.
Yeah.
Okay, I can't believe I'm going back to a point that I think I made a year ago, because the Olympics were postponed by an entire year. And we were talking about the Japanese Olympics. And I remember saying, like, we were kind of arguing back and forth, should they postpone the Olympics? And I said, well, is this a pandemic or not? Because if this is a serious pandemic, then we're not going to go play fucking games if people's lives are on the line. And if people's lives are on the line, I'm sorry, but I kind of have to say that, like, your American civil liberties, like, they don't mean shit. It's over. Like, if we're trying to save humanity, then all of, like, these, like, again, all of these things that we've agreed upon that make this the greatest country in the world have to be put on pause for just a fucking minute here. And I know, my body, my choice. Okay, is it really? I do, even as a conservative, I find that tragically hypocritical. My body, my choice. Yeah. And yet you're putting other people's lives at risk, which is the argument you make for an entire different argument that's much more serious in nature than the one that we're speaking to right now. Look, if you want to save people's lives, then you might have to put something sketch in your body for now. That's just how it goes. Sorry, we got to reach this critical mass herd immunity so we can get back to fucking life. Because you know whose civil liberties being fucking infringed upon right now? Mine. I can't take my kid to Chuck E. Cheese. I wanted to go to fucking Disney World this year, but I can't take my 6-year-old down to Florida right now because that's the biggest hotspot in fucking America. Right. Now, I'm okay with what Florida's doing. However, if we're talking about saving human life, think about like 28 days later where people turn into fucking zombies and the fucking cure is available. But all of a sudden, like, well, I don't know about that cure there because, I mean, I don't have a medical degree in any fashion, way, shape, or form. I've never worked in a laboratory anywhere, but I think this is sketch. So I'm not going to put it in my body. Everything sketch. Your hair gel sketch. Your shampoo sketch. Your fucking contacts are sketch. I don't know about putting a piece of plastic around my eyeball so I can see a little bit better. I'm probably just going to go blind.
Yeah.
Fuck all you. I'm sorry. I'm in fuck all you people mode right now.
The powder in your fucking Easy Mac is sketch. The fucking some of the look in your ingredients rack. Okay, look in the ramen noodles packet that you eat all the fucking time.
Better yet, do you fucking you jack wagons use like reusable bottles? You guys got Yetis or fucking whatever those hip metal water bottles are? When's the last time you actually fucking washed them? They're probably disgusting and full of mildew that's slowly killing you. Like there's so many things to be worried about. Like, and I think a lot of the population. Fuck, I just had a tetanus shot because I fucking stepped on a screw out in my yard in my new home because my landlord is kind of fucking up. So anyway, besides the point, like that shot hurt like a motherfucker. All the other shots didn't hurt. Fucking are people not going to get tetanus shots all of a sudden? Are fucking is that portion of the population just fucking nope? That's done. Is that whole portion now anti-vaxxers? Just this one? You know what I mean? Fucking, it's past the point of fucking discussing anymore. Just fucking get it done so we can fucking start going to concerts and sweating all over each other. Whatever the fuck you want to do. Go to fucking packed Ravens games and spittle your hot dog fucking remnants as you scream for a touchdown onto the people in front of you without killing them. That would be a fucking dope. It'd be awesome.
This is the ultimate hypocrisy of this has to deal with like, okay, my body, my choice. And I'm not gonna disagree with someone who, okay, you get vaccines when you're a child. Murr, you have a kid. How many needles got pumped in that young boy?
Dude, I got nervous because it was more than I know it was more than I got when I was a kid. And I was like, whew, honestly, all of these autism people, I was like, man, all right, see how they have a point because this is uncomfortable.
I will say that they've split them up since we were kids. They were really juicing us up. They were like, here, fucking take 8 fucking things at once. Like tetanus is fucking 4 things. You know what I mean?
Dude, I'm telling you, like when you have a kid now, like the first 4 doctor's visits, which are like every 6 months, they're getting like 4 each. I'm like, Jesus Christ, you got like 16 shots in the last 2 years. Like, I haven't had that many shots since I haven't had that many shots since I've been an adult.
Okay, here's my point though. Okay, you say like my body, my choice. This thing isn't FDA approved. This thing got spun through so fast. I don't know what's in it. All right, and obviously I can't make a point to someone who got vaccinated when they were a child, when their parents made the decision. Okay. It's either the parent, you can say like, oh, well, I was an infant. I was a newborn. How the hell do I know? Okay. But I'm reaping the benefits, right? I'm just going to put some statistics out for you. Measles, the hospitalization rate is higher than COVID-19, but 1 in 2 to 1,000 is the mortality rate. Mumps, less of a hospitalization rate, 1.3 to 3.8 per 10,000 is deathly. Okay. Do you think that it's the fact that like people will say measles and mumps vaccination is like, yeah, that's the government that's trying to control us. They're trying to tell you need to put a measles and mumps vaccination because the goddamn, the survivability rate is far less than fucking COVID vaccine. No, maybe it's just because fucking health professionals and people who give a fuck about the way fucking people live their lives and how healthy they are don't want you walking around with a goddamn contagious fucking virus in your fucking body to kill someone else. Get the fucking vaccine, you fucking morons. God damn it, man.
No, and the problem is that when you're as a parent, you're trusting the health professional with the welfare of your child. So you pretty much just voluntarily hand them over. Like, yeah, I don't like him screaming about the shots, but if you say it's good, then you take it. Now it's like, well, I don't want one. I'm an adult. I can tell you no. And now we're telling them no.
Yeah, but
the kid doesn't have a choice.
But do any of these dickheads that are anti-vaxxers who have children, do they feel guilty about pumping their fucking kids full of vaccinations? Like, I shouldn't have done that. I feel so bad about it right now. I feel so bad about this measles and mumps and smallpox and polio vaccine that I pumped full of my child. Oh,
yeah. See, I think that's exactly what I was alluding to. Is that's the harder thing to come to grips with this group of people. Like this group of the population is not all staunch anti-vaxxers. This is a newer thing to fucking 90% of that portion of the population. You know what I mean? Like there is probably that 10% that is all fucking hippy dippy and just anti-vax and never got anything anyway. But for the most part, this segment of the population all got fucking juiced up because the fucking pediatrician and all of these small towns throughout the fucking South and the fucking Southwest and all that shit fucking they inoculated them because that's what you fucking do. That's standard practice. That's how we live to fucking ages where we lose our fucking minds and we vomit on ourselves and we fucking shit in houseplants. We're not made for this shit. The medicine that got us to this point is the same shit we're working with. You know, it's just happening in real time and you haven't seen that fucking happen before. Count yourself lucky. We haven't seen a world war either. You know what I mean? But it fucking happened. And this shit happens, man. This life. Fucking come to grips with it so we can all fucking hang out and do cool shit.
This is where I feel like, okay, I know propaganda is supposed to be bad, but some good old-fashioned American propaganda. China's our enemy. Are we in agreement that, like, even if we get along with them, they're still our enemy?
Yeah, definitely. Like, there's a ton of them. We got to worry about them.
Yeah.
So whether the lab leak story is true or not, we fucking blame it on China. And then how do we get back at China? Well, we're the ones who created the vaccine. We're the ones who are going to save the world. Rah, rah, USA. Then you get everybody involved. You get the liberals who trust the media. You get the conservatives who trust America and want America to win. And you start telling them, like, no, this is all China's fucking fault. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to win this biological warfare that's been perpetuated upon the American citizens. And we're all going to get ourselves fucking juiced up in the arm with this vaccine that's been developed by the same folks that brought you the thermonuclear fucking bomb. Because that's what we do. We blow shit up. And we're going to blow up COVID like a fucking nuclear weapon inside of our fucking bodies.
Really?
Get some.
So look, I like it. I like the spirit. All I'm saying
Thank
is
you.
It sounds like a fucking slippery slope. I think at one point in time, actually at multiple points in time, according to we talk about that dictator show I watched on Netflix. So multiple points in time did all of these dictators be like, you know whose fault it is? Somebody else. You know whose fault it is? Jews. You know whose fault it is? Ugandans. Fucking like there have been. You know whose fault it is? Iranians. Like it kind of happens all the time. It's in the playbook.
Here's the thing, though, Alan.
Slippery slope.
Even the Chinese don't trust the Chinese. Like the Chinese people, they don't even trust their own government. They know they're getting fucking. So like you blame the person who's worth blaming, and China's worth blaming. Fuck them. Let's just do it.
True, but see, that's what happens is like you get a homegrown Chinese American, and this is going to sound extreme, but we toss them into some sort of camp-like area, and they're like, but I love it here, and I don't like China either. But we're like, well, you look like one, so in you go. Like, that's what I'm saying. It gets a little dicey.
And while you're at it, we got some railroads we could use.
Well, we could use some better infrastructure.
we chose roads, damn it. Look, it was genius at first. And then we were like, fuck, cars didn't get any faster, or we're not really allowed to drive them any faster. So we should have did trains.
At the end of the day, like somebody like Biden could literally go out there and say, it pains me to admit this, but Donald Trump was right. We should all take the vaccine. They should give him some credit and be like, he did Operation Warp Speed. This is his victory. And I think we should all thank him for it. And we should all do him the respect that he deserves as that portion of a presidency and get the vaccine. And then all of a sudden, there's a lot of fucking rednecks out there that are like, oh,
Fuck. Yeah, that's
Fuck.
true. You might hear
All
one of
right.
those bombs soon, but I think them motherfuckers in Congress and shit are all arguing. That's the problem. Like, the president doesn't really do shit. It's the motherfuckers below him in the two fucking houses of Congress that are like, oh, well, you know what? We're just not going to do stuff. We're not going to show up. We're not going to vote on that. That's dumb. Like, fucking, that's really all the holdup is. But I will say that I have heard him credit like Operation Warp Speed. He won't say that motherfucker's name.
Yeah.
He just won't. Like, maybe one day, but he won't. They purposely right around it. But he has definitely been like, yeah, the previous administration and Operation Warp Speed, like that's why we're where we're at. That's why we were able to fucking juice people up, because fucking America. Like, look what happens when we make our own shit. It's fucking easy, but it's cheaper over there. So
the problem, one of the bigger problems is that the same motherfuckers are saying, like, I'm not going to do this because, you know, they're telling me to do it. The same people, probably the same people would tell me the lockdown is controlling. They're controlling you. So do you want the lockdown or do you want freedom? They don't, there's no compromise. It's a lot of hand waving. They don't understand that the fact that there's fucking elbow grease and hard work to make decisions like this. It all the flow chart all funnels back to government's controlling us.
yeah.
Fucking
Like,
idiots.
I don't know. I just don't know where is it government mandated that you have to have a vaccine?
It's not.
That's what I'm saying. So like, people making like that argument is fucking just preposterous to me. That's why I said that argument leads to me being like, you're dumb.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
you don't even have that. That's not even an option. Like,
But-
are you bitching about having to get one because your work told you to? Well, that's the free market, sir. And that's the free market that conservatives love.
At will state.
So like,
If you depend upon where you're at, most of them are.
it is what it is. Now, like that shit up in New York, like, I don't know how that will work out, because that seems like, look, New York cannot tell private businesses to do that.
You talking
But if
about
private
Cuomo?
business, yeah, well, no, well, yes, but you know what I mean? So I don't know how that'll work. And I'll be honest, like, look, do I think it's probably wise if a business chooses to do that as cases of this variant or other variants go up? Sure. But I don't think that the government can be like, hey, fucking, you got to do this. You know what I mean? Because then you are kind of forcing the hand, but it's just, you know, that's a fine line. You got to figure that shit out. But like I said, I've seen restaurants going both ways, being like, I'm not serving vaccinated customers. I don't know how you fucking figure that out. It's not like my card's pinned on me. We're not there yet. You know what I mean? So fucking, I'm coming in, even though I don't want to be around you. So I'm probably not. So I get it. I like your sign. Thank you. It's accomplishing a point. But there are other places that have been like, don't be coming up in this bitch without a vaccination. We don't fucking want your business. Get out.
I don't want your chili cheese fries at your Denny's anyway.
And that's fine. You know what, the places that I will eat at are the places that are like, you know what, you should mask up before you come up in this bitch. Cool. You got it.
Yeah.
Not a problem. I got you, bud. I want your delicious pad thai. Thank you. Like, or whatever, you know, whatever it may be. It's not that.
Well, that's the one thing. That's the one thing that they are going to force New York City restaurants to do, is they're going to ask for your vaccination card in order for you to be served. And
Yeah,
but what's
that's a fine line. Like I said,
private business, but restaurants and bars don't have to serve anyone for any fucking reason. It's the same with the airlines. Same with this Max Berry bullshit. They don't need to tell you why they won't serve you.
But here's the thing,
Yeah.
like, you can't, I think the fine line for me, and I will admit this is like, you know, this is the government telling private businesses that they have to do this thing. And I get that it is in the interest of public health. I don't know, like I said, there's legalities here that we don't know. We're not fucking New York state constitutional lawyers. So, you know, I don't know how much our legal counsel knows about, you know, the New York state constitution. I would probably say a decent amount. So yeah, maybe a question for him, but like, I would assume that there's some kind of write-in where a restaurant might be able to opt out of that, or, you know, vice versa, where the constitution's like, hey, whoa, you can't fucking do that, bud. You can make it a suggestion, like a heavy suggestion, and you can market it and all that shit, but you can't make them do it. You know what I mean? So I get it.
Yeah.
well,
Good. Murr.
well, I was just going to say, this is why the aliens are going to win, because this is the one time where, like, from a global standpoint, we should all just be willing to make like a small sacrifice and have like 2 needles jammed in our arm over a 2-week period and be done with the whole goddamn thing. But we can't even get along to do that. It's a fucking pandemic. That's why like I agree with all the things that you're saying, Alan, but is it a pandemic or not? Is this the apocalypse or isn't it? And if it's the apocalypse, then like there's a lot of rules, laws, and regulations that kind of go out the window. And it comes back to my original thought on this over a year ago, is it where you juice up the you have these hillbillies go down and they get vaccinated, and when they get vaccinated, they get a card, and that card says that they are allowed to use tranquilizer guns to shoot vaccine into anybody they deem necessary as they roam the streets in the wild.
I would visit the South.
Yes,
actively. I'd be like, let's go fucking do it. I can. Do I get a visitor's pass? Like, can I fucking do it?
Where's Max Perry?
Where's Max Perry? No,
I think the people who talk about like, well, it's not FDA approved. I need to do a little more research. I don't know what's in it. I just brought up a Google thing of the ingredients that are in the COVID vaccination, depending upon what not variant, but what shot you got, Moderna, Pfizer. I would like to print out a list and be like, okay, lay person Joe Blogs, tell me what this looks suspicious to you. Like, oh well,
what to do?
That's not important. That's not important. Like, no, it is important. You don't know what any of this is, so you fucking moron. God, man, you guys got me riled up with this. Middle class will save America.
Just get your shots, man. Like, I mean, you don't have to, but you should. At this point, it's like at this point, it's the rest of the class looking at you because you fucking shit your pants on the field trip, and we got to deal with it. We're like 20 minutes from the zoo, and you fucking suck, dude. And we're dealing with it right now, and it sucks. Like, we're gonna get to the zoo either way, with or without you, like with you. Unfortunately, maybe less of you, but fucking, we're gonna get there. Just fucking help us out, man.
I honestly, now that you brought that up, Wes, about like what's in the vaccine, I feel like I could really promote this to backwoods rednecks. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna put a foreign invader inside you that we don't know nothing about, and it looks different than anything that's ever been inside your body. You know what your body's gonna do? It's gonna fuck it up indiscriminately. Just because it's different.
It's going to shoot it with guns. It's going to shoot it with fucking tiny fucking immune guns.
And it's going to teach that new little variant inside your body that it ain't got no business coming around here no more.
70 Sam's going to be at the fucking gates.
You got to say coming around this holler.
Yeah.
That's what you got to say. But no, yeah, just tell them fucking AR-15s, immune AR-15s, just blasting virus inside the body.
Yeah.
And we're gonna make a fucking middle class gif of 70 Sam just fire.
We should just make fucking propaganda like that and just see what happens.
I think so.
Like, I was born for it.
Do we know an animator? We should just get an and it doesn't even. It's got to be. It can be rudimentary. We just need to get the point across. You know what I mean? It's very simple. I mean, they did it in they did it in World War II. We could definitely make it happen.
Your body don't like things that look different. just like you.
Yes, dude. Fuck, we should shut this down. You need to clip this off because this is an idea. This probably shouldn't go on the final cut.
Final cut it is. Well, Murr,
they're going to steal it from us, and we're not going to get paid.
No. We're moving on to Fun Fact Friday.
Yes, my friends, it's officially a time for 5 fun facts for you fuckers on a Friday, being brought to you by you should do your research on the Shin Splints Recovery Group. That's what you should do your research on. A highly credible medical research team is on the internet for your pain reduction. You can find them on Facebook, the Shin Splints Recovery Group. They specialize in exactly what's ailing you, your shin splints. Let's get to it. Your Fun Fact Friday, starting off with this one. Did you know, even though beavers swim in the mud all day, they are closet neat freaks? They build their lodges with 2 rooms, a room where the family hangs out and a mud room where they shake off after entering their secret underwater doors. And that keeps their living room dry and clean.
Wow.
I didn't know that. There's like a beaver thing on Disney Plus. You should check it out. There's like a whole series of like just a single animal, and beavers is one. It's fascinating.
Okay.
Learn
will
that
check
from,
that
it was
out.
like an animated show.
No, it's like a fucking National Geographic like documentary, but they're all like an hour, but they're just about a specific animal. It's like the fucking American bison and fucking shit like that. But there's one that's fucking beavers. They're fascinating.
So they have a mud room and then a living room.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. And so they shake off, they get all the dirt and shit off of them in one room, and then they I guess they mosey on over to the living room. They throw their Crocs up on the coffee table.
Throw their slippers up. Yeah.
And they discussed the events of the day. They said, "Well, hey, Janet, good work on the bark there. You were really gnawing it down. Appreciate that. You get a gold star. Hey, hey, little Tommy, listen, you're gonna need to do some more tricep, more beaver tricep things.
So you got a couple ash twigs here. That's not gonna cut it, but we're getting there.
Again, they're just fun facts, guys. They don't have to be wildly introspective.
We just got to talking about vaccines for like 20 minutes.
I want to talk about beavers having family fun. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Well, apparently, another fun fact about beavers is I think we've actually talked about this on this show. Is they have their anal gland is actually milked, and that is where you get vanilla extract flavoring from.
Yeah. Well, I think they don't do it anymore, but yes, that's where it used to come from.
Oh yeah, they don't do it anymore. Sure, they don't.
No, I think they made one in the lab because science.
That's what the government told you.
Audience. Science.
They can't replicate that.
What if we lose some followers after this? Let's find out.
Got your mRNA vanilla extract for your pancakes, you fucking commies. Did you know author Beatrix Potter was also a scientist who studied and illustrated plants and fungi? Her scientific work was not taken seriously, but she was determined to be published in one way or another. The tale of Peter Rabbit was rejected at first, so she published it herself. It became one of the most popular children's stories of all time.
Oh, I did not know that.
Well, there's a way.
She couldn't get her actual real science published, so she made up a bullshit story about fucking bunnies.
How old is Peter Rabbit? Does it say do you have a year?
I do not have a year on the Peter Rabbit tale.
I'm assuming Peter Rabbit came out a fucking long time ago. Like a time ago. Yeah. Like a time ago when women scientists were laughed at. So I have a feeling she might have had some valid science to talk about, but they were like, get out of here, woman. Even if your science is about plants, we don't give a fuck. Like, and that was that.
Silly woman.
Write a children's book.
Let's see. She lived from 1866 to 1943. So yeah, it's a
See, she was definitely told to get out. She was definitely asked for a sandwich when she was like at a job interview. And fucking, like it's shit like that. That's how old that was.
And I don't even know if it is it ironical that she made more money writing the children's book than she did with like actually producing, fictional, not fictional, but
I think it's ironic
real science.
now, but I think it's ironic now, but back then men were like, see, told you. Fucking stay in your lane. Children's books.
No, you know what? And you actually bring up a much more profound point than maybe you realize, but like it just shows you that like entertainment is always more profitable than saving the fucking world.
Yeah. We could have been scientists. All three of us.
I wanted to be one. And then I was like, I think it's gonna suck.
I wanted to be one, but then I realized I'm an idiot and I don't
It requires elbow grease and hard work.
Yeah, and I'm not great at math. So yeah, that was probably a little bit of a hindrance. But either way, fucking
1902, by the way. 1902 is the date on that.
Definitely. They were like, get out. take your fucking mushrooms and go make us a casserole.
Yeah.
Like, get out of here.
I think the mushrooms are what helped her write a fucking story about an anthropomorphic rabbit.
Well, that's what happens. I think mushrooms are very experimental. You eat them, you die, you trip, or you're good.
Did you know the state of Missouri was preparing to release Mike Anderson from a prison sentence? I'm sorry, hold on. Let me start this again. Blah, blah, blah. Did you know the state of Missouri was preparing to release Mike Anderson from his prison sentence when they realized he wasn't in jail because they had forgotten to pick him up 13 years ago. In that time, he had turned his life around. He had married, had 4 kids, and started a business. They imprisoned him for 5 months, but he got out because the judge thought he was a good person and jail no longer served a purpose.
Wow.
I'd be mad about the 5 months. I'd be like, fuck y'all. Like, I probably lost a job. Like, this is bullshit.
Yeah. Your kids, you have to explain to your kids, like, listen, this is the life I tried to leave behind, but it caught up with me 13 years later, and Daddy's got to go to jail for 5 months because I don't know what he did, but seems kind of sketch. Seems kind of sketch. And look, I'm telling you,
that should be the name of the episode. Seems kind of sketch.
What's kind of great about this is that most of the fun facts I have are universal and like age, timeless. But this is actually from like 10 years ago because I remember reading this story. And the guy had said, I remember seeing an interview with the guy, and he said, yeah, I got a notice in the mail that they were going to pick me up to go to jail. And so every day I waited and nobody showed up. So he said, so eventually I just kept living my life. But he said, I always looked over my shoulder. So he said he was actually thrilled that after 13 years, they finally came because he felt like, so basically what ended up happening was he ended up turning his life around because every day he was like, well, if I'm better today than I was yesterday, maybe they won't take me to jail. And then they never did. And then he ended up like being like a world-class citizen. Yeah.
I mean, that he did his due diligence. The state or the correctional facility, they're wrong. 5 months? Yeah, man. That's almost a half a year. Fuck them.
Yeah, I'd be mad as fuck.
Yeah.
Like, I'd be like, I'm a fucking regular ass dude now. Like back then I was a criminal. Also, like, how did he already have a job and he just keep doing it? I mean, he was a criminal. You know what I mean? Like, how did he fucking like go through a background check for a new job? And they're like, hey, you got a felony from like 14 days ago. So
because he started his own business.
Oh,
it was a 1099.
Yeah, so he didn't have to background check himself. He knew his sketchy ass past.
Okay, I like it.
Married, pumped out a few kids, and then voila, 5 months. I mean, grand scheme of things, how much? What was the original term or sentence?
I don't know what the original sentence was, but he was supposed to go to jail, and all it says is 13 years. But I think it was like I think it was theft of some kind. I think he robbed somebody, and he probably would have done like 5 years. And then they just never came and got him. Yeah, they did 5 months.
Maybe he was like, you know what, 4 fucking kids, fuck this. Like, give me 5 months, I'm good.
They should, but you know what? They should research this because the whole point of jail is to like, make somebody do their time and then turn their lives around. And like the threat of jail turned this guy's life around. Like he didn't have to go.
I find it humorous that they were like, hey, we're going to pick you up to take you to jail. And he was like, okay, I'll be there. And was there every day for like a foreseeable amount.
Did he not move?
Like, let alone just like someone would be like, fuck that. I'm out of town. You're picking me up to take me to jail? Whee!
Yeah,
maybe you would have been in contempt and done more time. But
I think like, is that more an indictment on the prison system in the United States? Because like, yeah, sure, they missed this one, but like, how many people that just kind of ended up there and they were like, oh, whoops, fucking lost your shit. Or like, yeah, homeboy lost track of time kind of, and he was supposed to be there for 10, but he's been there for fucking 16 and they're just kind of letting it ride. I feel like that's probably a high probability.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the kind of thing I pray happens to me. It's like, fuck, I was supposed to be out like 2 years ago, and then I can sue him for my retirement money. And move on with life.
Yes, so. But I'd kind of be like, God damn it, I'm trying to get the fuck out of here.
Trying to raise my kids.
Did you know the original Space Jam website still exists at spacejam.com?
Nice. I'm looking at it right now.
That I did know. It listen, it's a time machine. You dial that, you type that in, dial it up. Sorry. That's I'm dating myself. You type
It was
that in.
built for dial-up.
Yeah, it is a time machine back to 1995. It is ridiculous. The links are like, wow, man. This is when you had AOL or NetLink or Netscape, something like that. Yeah, it's there.
I'm going to it right now. But did you know? Fun extra fun fact. For some reason, maybe you guys can explain this to me. The current Space Jam toys starring LeBron James, for some reason, people are going around Walmarts and pulling the heads off of the LeBron James Space Jam doll. And now if you want a Space Jam doll, you have to ask an employee and they have to go to the back to retrieve it for you.
So, no, I did not know that. And that's ridiculous. What are these fucking people?
Yo, this is crazy. I built one of these websites like, when I was like 12 to 13 years old. Like, this is insane. A major fucking motion picture. This was the website for it. Like, this
It looks like a
MySpace
page.
What's Space Jam?
Dude,
What?
it is a straight up fucking angel fire, sir.
We'll share it with the folks. Space Jam. What?
Spacejam.com.
No, I have the
.biz.
This looks a little bit different. It's like
so like, look, you got to read it. There's like, it'll give you an option to go to the 1996 site.
Wow.
Like, this background is the fucking background for your junior fucking portrait from Life Touch. Like, this is crazy.
There's a lot of text. I can tell you that. You better be a reader. Better be a reader if you're going to the original Space Jam site.
So you click into Planet B-Ball, right? And there's just a picture of a generic court. And it's like, oh, there's some links. If you go to player bios, like, it's just
I
go over here.
I like that it's like, hey, we'll throw Helvetica text with red. Nice. People will like this. And
go back. Go to Planet B-Ball again and click fucking player bios. It's so good. Right there, right in the picture, in the middle of the picture. That's what I mean. Like, the links are in the picture. It's fucking great.
Yeah. Oh, Jordan, Ewing, Barkley.
Look, and then like, you don't even get anything more. Like, you don't get a bigger picture or like that's it. That's all I get. Just his 95-96 season and his career stats, and that's it. Sean Bradley.
Muggsy Bogues.
Yeah.
Baltimore's own Muggsy Bogues, by the way.
Met him in an airport, by the way.
Yeah?
Nice.
Yeah. It gave me hope.
Like, how you gonna put my man's fucking 94-96 season up there and it says 6 games?
Yeah, right. Grandmama. Remember Grandmama?
Larry Johnson.
Yeah. Wow. The lineup.
And finally, did you know the moon has moonquakes? On Earth, quakes last about 2 minutes because water expands the structure of different materials, which acts like a spongy cushion. Because the moon is so dry, quakes keep going and going, vibrating just like a tuning fork. So that makes me wonder, all these other conspiracy assholes out there who are like, the flag's waving, why's the flag waving if it ain't got no wind on the moon? Maybe there was a moonquake happening. There was a lot of little kind of vibrations going on that we weren't aware of, that we couldn't explain because we'd never fucking been there before. Assholes.
When it's fake, they want you to believe that they did that because we raced the Russians and we would show the Russians that we were better. And we got there and we built a moon base.
Here's the thing I never really got about that. Like, y'all ever held a flag? Is it ever just rigid and fucking like? do like, have you ever seen somebody starch their flag so that it just doesn't wave and it's just picturesque? Like, no, it's a piece of cloth. Like, so yes, the picture of it was probably it being a piece of cloth. Like, There's still gravity. It's still gonna fall.
Starch flags. No, but to back to your original point, no, I did not know that there were moonquakes that last how long?
Let's see. Because the moon's so dry. It just says keeps going and going like a tuning fork. So I guess until they finally just like deaden
Probably
out
a long ass time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, we should be there for one of those.
That'd be
Bezos should build listen, you're talking about an ultimate rave. Bezos should put a fucking some sort of rave tent there and just wait for one of those fuckers and make those people just barf and party everywhere.
Or maybe you get one of those like they have the backpacks that like the motion creates electricity and like charges your cell phone. Just fucking cap those bitches off all over the place. Make your own electricities from moonquakes.
Yeah.
That's thinking.
See, we're solving problems.
Yeah.
Intergalactic problems.
We're gonna get ourselves on a ship to the moon. Don't you worry. The middle class souls will be essential in some capacity.
I'm gonna yell my parents are worth $2 million about halfway through the atmosphere. What you guys do?
Definitely duct taping you to the chair. That's for fucking sure.
Help me!
And that, my friends, is your Fun Fact Friday.
Yeah. That was good. That was a good set of facts.
That was simple facts.
They were fun.
They weren't too in depth this week.
They were fun. And it's almost Friday, so that's a thing.
We got about 45 minutes.
I broke the fourth wall. Is it a fourth wall?
Well, yeah, when you're listening now, it'll be Friday or not, depending on when you listen.
Maybe. Depends. It could be Saturday. Maybe even Sunday. Fuck. Possibly Monday. Even Tuesday, baby.
Don't confuse the goddamn audience.
Right. Could be Wednesday, I guess.
These anti-vaxxers are killing us. All right. Alan, where can you find us, brother?
You can find us at gomdvax.org. I don't know that, and I don't know that that's a real website, but it is something like that. If you type it into Google, it'll tell you where to get a vaccine. So that'd be fucking cool. So that we can go around, just spitting on each other by accident in bars, like just sloppily slurring our words to each other without fear of death. Also, you can find us at fucking MDL Classholes. Sorry, fuck, I completely lost track of that one. Let's restart. So, you can find us on all your favorite social media pages. We're at MDL Classholes on Instagram and Twitter. We're just the Middle Classholes on Facebook, of course. And, of course, for your streaming pleasure, your ear holes will be satisfied on Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts. Of course, we have a YouTube page. Check us out, the Middle Classholes as well. We also have a fucking email. If you want to email, has anybody emailed us yet? I'm giving away $1. Still,
I'm gonna check while you wrap this up. So continue.
Yeah. Oh, so you can reach us at Tickle Our Tummies. That's right, Tickle Our Tummies, plural, at gmail.com. Middle Classholes.
Looking at it right now, it's a Google team in Google.
Well, I was gonna say we do have one. It says security alert. New device. A new device is signed into tickleourtummies@gmail.com.
Listen,
and actually,
I'm not paying Google $1, okay?
that was just Wes trying to log in, and he needed a security question from me.
You hit the wrong password. Yeah,
I did. Sorry, Daniel.
I couldn't spit that one out. that was fun.
Middle close bad back at you.
All right, middle class with listening stuff on medias.
Yeah. And we would like to thank the whoever the people were that shared our Instagram post today. Got about 3,500 views of the dildo fight. Wonderful clip.
Lots of fights with dildos. If that seems like you guys are into dildo fights, so we're pretty much pivoting. This is the dildo classholes. This is the dildo classholes now.
That would have a much better name.
It's just gonna be three fucking. It's gonna be renditions of us as penises. That's our new emblem. It's just take exactly what the emblem you see on all of our social media, but just make those into penis heads, and that's us. That's gonna be our new shtick.
Here we come. That's gonna be our.
That's gonna be our tagline. We're making stickers.
We're coming for you.
All right, folks. Appreciate your time. Have a good one. Until next week. So long.
Cause whiskey dick ain't something that I fear. And though it may be a thrill, don't take me fishing near a hill. Just ask Miss Smith, give me a big old glass of beer. Cause I get drunk most every day. I always seem to find myself late. Might be on as fuck, I'm still riding like a pup. I fell down, but my dick's still up. Well, sometimes I may need a hand when I'm just too drunk to stand. I don't need your sympathy, keep your judgment too. Cause you just give it a little pull, and my dick's strong like bull, ready to satisfy my woman whole night through. I get drunk most every day. Everyone knows Scooter is a gay. As fuck, I'm still riding like a pup. I fell down, but my dick's still up. I fell down, but my dick's still up. I fell down, but my dick's still up.